Heidi, staying with space, where so-called space junk is posing a dangerous and expensive problem. Traveling uncontrolled at high speeds, the debris from old rockets and satellites can collide with private and government-owned communications and defense systems worth billions of dollars. Bloomberg's Adrian Wong joins us here in the Tokyo studio with more on this. And Adrian, we've been talking about this for a very long time, but really, how big of a hazard is this?
Yeah, it's a big issue because according to estimates from NASA, there are over 100 million pieces of space debris up there. And you see, with the investment into space, the number of active satellites have actually quintupled over the past 5 years. So when you think about it, the more satellites that are in space, the more problems this is going to cause with the risk of collisions. So you can imagine this kind of like a car crash pileup on a highway, except there are no emergency vehicles to clean up the mess. And so when you think, and so it's not really just a problem in space, because it's also a problem on planet Earth, because these pieces of fragments, they can also survive re-entry into the atmosphere. And when you look at the broader sector, it's not an easy task. Number one, it's super expensive. It can cost millions and even billions of dollars just to remove a piece of space junk. And secondly, there's a big question of ownership as well, because just because there's space debris out there doesn't mean anyone can go get it, because the ownership of the debris is actually on whoever actually left it there in the first place. So, which means companies actually need to get permission to retrieve it. So there's been quite a few different options and solutions into this, where we've seen high powered lasers, as well as inflatable bags. But one company I just want to quickly highlight is Astroscale, because they're using quite an interesting method where they're developing spacecraft which actually uses robotic arms to literally grab the space debris. And so it's a really interesting company.
Actually, Adrian Wong, he's explaining to us what's happening with this space. We actually spoke to Nobu Okada, the founder of Astroscale, so take a listen.
The funds will be put towards research and development as well as working capital, as we did with the previous funding. We're currently demonstrating our rendezvous and proximity operations technology in space. This technology is the foundation for 4 businesses we're developing. The money from the IPO will help us push through our R&D in these areas.
There's still a high level of uncertainty in this business. You yourself are still years away from cleaning space junk. Why is now a good time to invest in Astroscale?
The threat of orbital debris remains unpredictable. That's why it's important to act now. We already know that orbital sustainability will become impossible if we don't tackle the rapidly growing number of satellites, space debris, and junk. That's why we're taking the lead in developing the RPO technology and creating business models. Our work is contributing to creating the global rules.
You've said you want to win business from the private sector, not just governments and space agencies. Why would a private company care enough to pay you to clean up space debris?
We're fielding contracts for projects worldwide, mainly from government agencies. In space, the risks are high, but the rewards are low. That holds true for the private sector, too. We need to turn around the trend. Orbital services can do that. That's why we see a lot of interest from the private sector.